The wind whispered tales of a city that had stood for 1,000 years, a beacon of light and learning perched between two worlds. This was Constantinople, the heart of the Byzantine Empire, a name that echoed with history, power, and faith. But by the year of our Lord 1453, that heart beat weakly. A lone island in a rising Ottoman tide. On one side stood the young Sultan Mehmed II, a man consumed by ambition and a burning desire to claim the city the prophet himself was said to have foretold. He was a force of nature, brilliant and relentless, gathering an army vast beyond imagining, a host that stretched across the horizon like a dark storm cloud. And with them he brought monstrous cannons, iron beasts that roared with a voice the ancient walls had never heard. Within the city, Emperor Constantine XI, the last of a long and storied line, looked out upon the approaching storm. His city was a shadow of its former glory, its defenders few, its pleas for help to the west largely unanswered, lost across the divide of old rivalries and religious schisms. Yet the spirit of Byzantium, though beleaguered, was not broken. The people, a mix of Greeks, Italians, and others who called this great city home, prepared to defend their faith, their history, and their very lives. The siege began like a coiled serpent tightening its grip. The Ottoman cannons hammered the ancient triple walls, those legendary fortifications that had repelled countless invaders throughout the centuries. Stone and mortar, once deemed invincible, crumbled under the relentless barrage. Days turned into weeks, each dawn bringing renewed ferocity, each night a desperate scramble for the defenders to repair the breaches, to mend the wounded body of their city. The sea, too, became a battleground. A massive chain was stretched across the Golden Horn, the city's vital harbour, a desperate attempt to keep the Ottoman fleet at bay. For a time it held, but Mehmed, with audacious ingenuity, ordered his ships to be dragged overland on greased logs, bypassing the chain and launching his vessels into the very heart of the Byzantine naval defence. It was a feat that struck a blow not just to the city's defences, but to the morale of its people. Omens, real and imagined, hung heavy in the air. A lunar eclipse cast an eerie shadow, a chilling sign to some. A strange, thick fog rolled in, unseasonable and disorienting. Whispers of prophecies and the end times mingled with the cries of battle and the thunder of cannons. Yet, amidst the despair, acts of incredible bravery shone like defiant stars. Giovanni Giustiniani Longo, a Genoese guide with his contingent of hardened warriors, fought with ferocious skill at the land walls, rallying the weary defenders. Monks and citizens, nobles and commoners stood side by side, united in their desperate struggle. Emperor Constantine himself was everywhere, inspiring his troops, a lion in the face of overwhelming odds. But the strength of the lion could not hold back the inevitable. After 53 days of relentless siege, in the pre-dawn hours of May 29th, the final assault began. Wave after wave of Ottoman soldiers crashed against the walls, the irregulars, then the Anatolian troops, and finally the elite Janissaries, the Sultan's most feared warriors. They found a weakness, perhaps a gate left ajar in the chaos, perhaps a section of wall finally too damaged to hold. The Janissaries poured in, an unstoppable tide. The defence faltered. Giustiniani was gravely wounded, his removal a crushing blow to the defenders' spirit. And somewhere in the maelstrom, amidst the clash of steel and the shouts of men, Emperor Constantine XI made his last stand. Refusing to flee, he is said to have stripped off his imperial regalia and plunged into the thickest of the fighting, a king dying with his kingdom. His final moments remain shrouded in the mists of history, a heroic, tragic end to a 1,000-year empire. By mid-morning, the banners of the crescent flew over the highest points of the city. Constantinople, the second Rome, had fallen. The world shifted on its axis. The fall of Constantinople was more than just the end of an empire. It was a turning point, a bridge between the old world and the new, a tale of ambition, defiance, and the inexorable march of time. And though the city changed hands, its spirit, its history, and the echoes of its final, desperate struggle would forever resonate in the annals of time.